Hello, my name is Tom, and I'd like to talk about some of the places that I've lived in life and some of the jobs that I've had. Have you ever wanted to travel around the country and experience different places and different people? Or have you always lived in the same place, maybe had the same job, or went to a university close to your house and always be around your family? I grew up in Massachusetts, and it was a good place to grow up, but by the time I got out of high school, I was ready to leave and experience some new things. I had a friend that had a brother that lived in Largo, Florida, and in the summer of 1995, we moved to Largo, Florida. It was definitely a change for me. It was a beautiful place, beaches, warm sunny weather, people seemed a little bit friendlier. But after being there for about a year and a half, I learned that living off a minimum wage job was more difficult than I had planned. I moved back to Massachusetts and I moved back in with my parents. But after about another year, I was still sick of the same place and wanted to give it another try. I had some friends that I had made in Largo, and they now lived in Clearwater, Florida. I moved to Clearwater, Florida and moved in with those friends, and I became a waiter at a restaurant. But after about another year and a half, I kind of failed in the same way, and I realized that going back to school was a better choice. So I moved back to Massachusetts, back in with my parents, and attended Bristol Community College in Fall River, Massachusetts, which was the next town over from where I lived. College was difficult at first, and it was very hard for me to figure out what I was most passionate about. I changed my major 3 times, and eventually I was lucky enough to meet my girlfriend Katie, and I gave up on college for a little while, and we moved in together, and she became a nurse. This transitioned into the traveling part, more of the traveling part of my life. After she gained some experience, she took up a traveling nurse position where you move around and work at different hospitals for about 3 to 6 months at a time. So our first stop was Clearwater, Florida, another Florida place. I loved it the same way, sunny, warm, friendly people. After doing that for about 6 months, we decided to do something different, and we moved out to Santa Barbara, California. Very nice place, a lot of culture, pretty expensive, and didn't like it as much as Florida though. The next stop was Lafayette, Colorado. Another beautiful place, kind of more small town, not as many people, but it was fun to be there and a good experience. The next stop was Tucson, Arizona. That was boring, warm, dry, not a lot of things to do, and neither of us were a very big fan of that. And the last stop, where we are today, and we've been for 4 years, is Fort Myers, Florida. We really like it here. We like the people, again, the sun, and fun nature things to do, which interests me a lot. Having different jobs in my life definitely has been a good experience to help me realize that I want an education, and school is definitely the answer. I was a waiter for most of my time, and a little bit of customer service selling electronics. Dealing with the public is definitely not the easiest thing in the world to do, and that's really forced me to go back to school. I don't want to be 50 years old and still be a waiter. I've decided that I'm most passionate about nature, and I'm going to go for an environmental studies degree at FGCU this fall. So all in all, the learning experience I've had, sometimes I wish I could go back and go right to college and have a good job a long time ago, but everything that I've been through, it hasn't been that easy, and it's made me a better person for it. Thank you.